Welcome everyone to another exciting episode of Worldways Radio, where we explore ideas, cultures, and the paths that shape our world. I'm your host Jacob David, and today we have an exceptional guest joining us, Professor Salvador de Adley, a renowned expert in socialism and its impact on modern society. Together we'll dive into the principles, challenges, and future of socialism in a rapidly changing world. Stay tuned for a thought-provoking conversation you won't want to miss. Good evening, dear listeners, and welcome to Worldways Radio. Tonight, we have a very special guest joining us, the one and only Salvador de Adley. Salvador, welcome to the show.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. It is an honor to be here with you on Worldways Radio.
The honor is ours, Salvador. Before we dive in, could you share with us what theme or subject we'll be exploring today?
Absolutely. Tonight I'd like to talk about a small yet deeply symbolic story focusing on the death of a brave lion and the societal changes that unfold in the jungle after his end. This story carries profound meaning for our actual society and offers insights into leadership, legacy, and the dynamics of communities in times of transition.
That sounds fascinating. I'm sure our listeners are eager to hear your insights. Let's get started.
Once, in the distant past, there was a mighty lion who ruled as the king of the jungle. He was authoritarian, yet under his reign, the jungle remained peaceful, and every animal found good conditions for living. One day the lion fell gravely ill. He lay on his bed for many days, growing weaker, while no one could determine the cause or cure for his mysterious illness. The animals gathered and spoke among themselves, trying to find a solution. Many of them searched for remedies or medicines to save their king. However, the cunning fox had other plans. He approached the wolf and whispered in his ear, encouraging him to give the lion the poison of a snake under the pretense that it was a powerful medicine. The fox, seeking freedom from the lion's authority, promised the wolf his support in becoming the new king of the jungle. Tempted by ambition, the wolf agreed. Together they spoke with the snake, obtained the poison, and gave it to the lion. Not long after, the mighty lion died. Following his death, the wolf was declared the new king of the jungle. But the fox, true to his nature, betrayed the wolf. He incited the other animals, urging them not to obey their new ruler. Deceived and divided, the animals turned on each other. What followed was a stark and brutal war. The jungle, once peaceful, descended into chaos. For many years, the animals fought bitterly and countless lives were lost. In the end, peace could not be restored. The fox's deceitful schemes had misled the animals, dragging their society into disorder and despair. The jungle was left broken, its harmony forever shattered by ambition, betrayal, and mistrust.
Mr. Salvador de Adley, that was quite an intriguing tale. You just share a story of leadership, betrayal, and the collapse of peace in the jungle. Tell us what inspired you to narrate this story.
Thank you for the question. This tale mirrors the fragility of any society, whether it's a jungle, a village, or even a modern city. I wanted to highlight how easily peace can be lost when ambition and deceit replace unity and trust. The animals in the story started with harmony under the lion's rule, but when selfish motives took over, everything fell apart. Sadly, it's a pattern we sometimes see in real life.
Indeed, it feels like this tale is more than just a story, it's a reflection of society. The lion, the fox, the wolf, they seem to represent deeper ideas. Can you explain that to our listeners?
Certainly, the lion represents leadership imperfect, but stabilizing. The fox symbolizes cunning and manipulation, and the wolf embodies blind ambition. Together they teach us a painful lesson: when leaders lose the trust of their people or act selfishly, the consequences ripple throughout society. In the story, the animals were misled by the fox and betrayed their own harmony, which led to war and suffering. It's a reminder that betrayal, dishonesty, and the hunger for power are destructive forces.
So what's the key lesson here? How can this story help us in our day-to-day lives?
The lesson is simple but vital. A strong society is built on trust, unity, and ethical leadership. We must be wary of those who manipulate others for their own gain, and instead focus on values like honesty, cooperation, and mutual respect. It's not enough to seek power, we must also use it responsibly. If we want to prevent the chaos of the jungle, we need to stand together and work for the common good. Leaders must listen to their people, and communities must act with integrity. Peace is fragile, but with kindness, trust, and understanding, we can preserve it for generations to come.
Powerful words, Mr. Salvador de Adley. Unity, trust, and responsibility, these are truly the pillars of a better society. Thank you for sharing this inspiring perspective and for reminding us of these essential values.
Thank you. I hope this story encourages everyone to be a force for good in their own lives, their families, and their communities. Together, we can build a society that thrives on peace and cooperation.
Wise thoughts to end on. Thank you, Mr. Salvador de Adley, for joining us today. And to all our listeners, remember, peace begins with each of us. Let's commit to building trust and unity in our lives. You're listening to Worldways Radio, the voice of wisdom. Stay inspired, and we'll see you next time.